Carolyn Doobie here. What am I talking about today? Well, today I'm talking about play. Now, it might surprise you to know that I didn't always know how to play like this. At one point, well, when I was a kid, man, I could do that effortlessly. But then I grew up, and along the way, I lost my ability to play, and boy, did I miss it. So as an adult, I've decided to reclaim that sense of play. Well, what does play mean for me as an adult? Play means not worrying if it's right or perfect, or even if it's any good. Play, for me, is about the fun, about the process, and about the moment. Well, what's the first thing that I had to do to reclaim that play? I had to give myself permission. I had to give myself permission to play. This means that I was going to focus on the fun, the process, and the moment. Now, this was very, very different from the way it was for me before, because I was really focused on, was it right? Was it perfect? Was it good? Those were really stressful things, and frankly, they left me feeling really defeated a lot of the time, because when are we ever really perfect? And, you know, this is art. What means good art? I mean, come on. I was setting myself up for failure with that one, and I decided it was time for that to stop. It was time for me to focus on the fun, the process, and the moment. Once I'd given myself permission to play, then I had to decide what I'm going to play with. So was it going to be acrylic paints? Was it going to be watercolors? Was it going to be pastels? What was it going to be? Well, I experimented. I tried some different things, and I got to tell you, all of those things had one thing in common. They all had rules. There were ways you were supposed to do it, the ways that you should do it. And I realized that I needed something that didn't have rules. I needed mixed media. Well, what's mixed media? Mixed media is when you use two or more of a medium. So things like watercolors or acrylic paints or the pastels, or markers or crayons or anything that you've got around, collage, whatever you've got. Those are your mediums. And if you use two or more of them, it's mixed media now. Not a whole lot of rules to this. And that's what I needed for me to let myself play. There's no great big official rule book to mixed media. There's no big international committee that decides on the rules of what's going to be labeled mixed media or what's not. In fact, it really depends on who you ask for a definition of what mixed media is. You get all sorts of answers because, frankly, there aren't any rules to it. And that's the way I like it for play, because that means I can't make a mistake. If there isn't a rule, I didn't do it the wrong way. And quite frankly, the impression, the feeling that I get from the mixed media community is if there ever is a rule, frankly, they kind of encourage you to break it. Now we're really talking my language. Well, I've created a free workshop called Permission to Play, where I share with you 3 of the ways that I helped reclaim my sense of play. Now, in this workshop, we're going to be making a cardboard journal. And I chose cardboard as the surface for it because we all have lots of cardboard around, and it's great because we can then just recycle what we've got. Don't have to go buy a bunch of fancy stuff. You can use what you have. I really encourage you with this workshop to use what you have. Down below the video is the link to get registered and become a part of Permission to Play. Now, Permission to Play is a 5-lesson workshop. And what that means is every 3 days, you will get access to a new video. Now, the videos, they're all downloadable, so you can watch them online or offline, and they're also yours to keep forever. You will also have access to the classroom forever, so if you want to watch them online or stream them, you have that option too, as well as access to all of the information in the classroom. So what supplies do you need? Well, I really encourage you to use what you have. Even if you don't have exactly what I have, substitute with what you do have on hand. Now, that said, what I'm going to be using is cardboard, and I actually think cut up an old Amazon box or something like that. And I'm going to be using dilution spray inks, but any spray ink will work. I'm going to be using acrylic paints. Any acrylic paints will work. I'm going to be using stencils. The ones I'm using are from StencilGirl, but I encourage you to use any stencils that you have. I'm going to be using rubber stamps and a permanent ink pad. Any rubber stamps that you have will do the job fantastically. Now, if you don't have all these supplies, don't panic, because you don't have to do everything that I do. This is a chance for you, if you don't own these supplies, to see if they're of interest to you. Do you like how they work? Do you like the looks that you can get with them? So it's a chance for you to find out about them before you buy them and see if there's something of interest to you. Well, I hope that you'll give yourself permission to play and join me in this free workshop. Thank you for being a part of this colorful journey.